Vince Russo has reportedly said himself that he has reached out to WWE's Vince McMahon. Welcome to the Brash. Sean's Unitainment on YouTube.com, where I work around the clock on all news, rumors, headlines in WWE. Was he receptive to Vince Russo? Vince Russo, offering the olive branch, not to help out Vince McMahon, but to, bring something different, something dynamic. Now listen, at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want about Vince Russo, but it would definitely mix things up. It would flavor things up. It would spice things up. Now listen, Russo has done a lot of good, and he's done some bad, some questionable decisions, some questionable choices. But when it comes to WWE and the Attitude Era and, being able to crash TV, whatever you want to call it, and Russo says, he always says over and over, he doesn't take full credit for the Attitude Era. And as a matter of fact, his favorite era, I think he keeps saying, was the 80s era. But be that as it may, whether you want to say he killed WCW or, he got his ideas from ECW, which aren't true. And listen, I'm a big Russo supporter. I am a big Vince Russo fan. The fact that people say that, oh, I try to impersonate Vince Russo or I sound like Vince Russo, my voice and my mannerisms. I don't say bro, a lot, but Vince Russo, extending the olive branch, wanting to give a hand, wanting to pitch ideas. Because listen, at the end of the day, with what the WWE is working with right now, they need Vince Russo. Listen, I don't think Vince Russo right now could do any more harm than what the WWE is already doing to itself. But now you might say, well, Sean, this isn't the Attitude Era. It isn't TV 14. Hell, here's the thing a lot of people forget about the Attitude Era. A lot of the Attitude Era, for the most part, in the beginning, was still TV PG DLV, for dialogue, language, and violence. You have to remember, let's take that into consideration. Some of the Attitude Era was PG, okay? But, the WWE would stretch that PG rating. And, here's the thing. If Russo were to come back, I don't know if he would be paid. I don't know if he's just doing it because he wants to see the WWE be better. Listen, we all want to see the WWE be better. And the fact that Russo is reaching out to Vince McMahon, we yet don't know the answer. We don't know if it's a yes. We don't know if Vince is thinking about it. We don't know if Vince McMahon wants that help. We don't know if Vince McMahon even thinks he needs the help. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think the WWE could go any lower than it is right now. I mean, with the ratings declining, piss-poor storylines, same match after same match after same match, I think Vince Russo could be that spice to add to the life of the WWE, and I think it would revamp it, and I think it would revive it. I mean, at least, listen, no matter what you think about Vince Russo, no matter what your feelings are, no matter what you're for him, against him, every idea comes with its criticisms and its comments and its commentary. But at the end of the day, Vince Russo was the, like I said, he was involved, and he was definitely involved as a writer, and he has that mind, he has that input, and even at his age, he can still put together some compelling and intriguing television. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you want to see Vince Russo back? What are your thoughts on Vince Russo? Do you remember him from the Attitude Era? Listen, I was a big supporter. I followed Vince Russo's career from when he was in the magazines, when he was the editor. Okay, so I mean, I know a lot about Vince Russo's work, and I don't mind the fact that some people say to me, "Hey, Sean, you sound like Vince Russo. Your mannerisms, the way you talk. Are you a New Yorker?" No, I'm actually from Massachusetts, but if I went out on vacation to Tahiti or the islands or I don't know, if I went somewhere out of the states, Hawaii, I don't know, wherever it is out of the states, I would always get told, "Are you from New York?" The Bahamas, I don't know, anything, Bahama Mama. I would always get asked, "Are you from New York? Are you a New Yorker? Do you live with Vince Russo? Are you related to Vince Russo?" And listen, I don't take that as a bang or a hit at me. I take that as a positive. I take that as something that, you motivate towards. And I think the WWE would benefit huge. I mean, at least give Russo another chance, another opportunity. Let Russo, and, remember when Russo was working with the WWE as the editor, and then he became, the creative storyteller that he was. And, remember that famous clip from Beyond the Mat? It's on YouTube.com where, you saw Russo working alongside Dude Love and scripting it and talking about it and what he should do. And, I mean, the guy's got a mind. The guy is a good writer. He is very solid when called upon. Like I said, he's had some questionable ideas and questionable choices, but Russo has struck more positives and more momentum and more good vibes than I can ever recall any writer in the history of the WWE. But once again, Russo is working with a whole different dynamic. There's more than 2 writers. It's not just Russo and Ferrara. It's not just Russo and whoever else is working behind the scenes, or Jim Cornette or Ross or Patterson and Briscoe, the booking, the match tellers, the matchmaking, the storytelling, whatever it may be. It's a whole different dynamic. There's too many cooks in one kitchen. They're changing plans. They're altering plans as the show is going on. The plans are changing as the show is going live. I think, if you taper that down, I think if you just cut a lot of that off and just put Russo and a couple other writers in there with the fundamentals and with that foundation, with Russo's backing, why would Vince McMahon deny this? I mean, Vince McMahon, right? The old Vince McMahon, at least, was about taking chances. He was an ultimate opportunist. Vince McMahon would roll the dice. He rolled the dice with WWE WrestleMania, and it came through. Vince McMahon has taken many chances, and it's taken its toll. There's no doubt about it. But ladies and gentlemen, Vince Russo, who I'm a huge fan of, a huge supporter of, and I don't know if he watches my show. I don't know if he knows about me. I know he did a video about me one time. We were in contact, but then, things fell apart. I don't know what his feelings are about me, but that's irrelevant. But what's relevant is if Vince Russo returns to the WWE, what's the worst that could happen? I don't think the ratings could slide any more than what they are. Even if Russo was as a part-time guy, I mean, I don't care if it's Raw or SmackDown, they need Russo. The WWE absolutely needs Vince Russo. And I mean, well, like I said, when Russo went to WCW, let's call a spade, it was already sinking ship. I mean, the signs were already there. I mean, Russo was just trying to do the best he could. And like I said, I know the matchmaking about the, Judy Bagwell on a pole match, Viagra on a pole, whatever on a pole. Well, Vince McMahon, isn't it something how Russo contacts McMahon about returning to the WWE and extending the olive branch and pitching some ideas, giving some help? And although, while what Russo said was, well, Vince McMahon is not a man that needs help, but and extended his olive, branch to him and, said, maybe I can give you some suggestions, some ideas, just kind of, throw things at you and see what you think about it. But the thing about Vince Russo is just give him an opportunity. Give him a chance. If he can't improve the ratings in, say, 3 to 5 months, and if it's starting to fall apart and it's getting worse and worse, well, then go back to the drawing board again. But I don't think Vince Russo could do any more harm than what the WWE is seeing right now. And obviously the storylines couldn't be as over the top and as I think it could be more unpredictable. I think it would be more uncanny. I think the storylines, and I think the mic work, and I think the mannerisms, and I think the true WWE stars could come out with Vince Russo behind them, because Russo works so close with the talent. But like I said, it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different vibe. Backstage is not like what it used to be. And Russo, when he left the WWE, he tried to come back to the WWE, but even in, 2002 or 2003, he tried to come back. The company was even different at that time. It's a publicly traded company. It's PG. It's related to kids nowadays. So Russo would not be able to go as over the top as he once did, but I'm still sure he could do a hell of a lot better than what we're seeing right now, because there's not a hell of a lot of storytelling. There's not a lot of angles. There's not a lot of shoots in wrestling nowadays, and I think that's the one major thing we're missing. Anyone can put together a wrestling show, but it takes someone with Russo's mind and Russo's agenda and Russo's ideas to put together something solid, something special, and something you'll remember. Vince McMahon, I hope you take to this. I hope you at least take it into consideration to hire Vince Russo back to WWE on the creative team. And you know what? Maybe throw Paul Heyman in there, or Jim Ross, or Jake the Snake, or Scott Hall, because those are also guys that have a mentality, a thought process for the storyline end of the business. They are very smart and very logical. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, your comments, your opinions on Vince Russo overall, and do you think Vince Russo would do more harm than good for WWE in 2017? Subscribe and smash the bell for more around-the-clock news, rumors, and headlines in WWE. Donate to my Patreon, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, my Facebook and Twitter. Donate to my Patreon, and of course, share this video on Facebook and Twitter, and like my official Facebook fan page on Facebook. Smash that bell, subscribe for more around-the-clock news, rumors, headlines in WWE. Would Russo be more of an influence and more of a positive, or would he weigh WWE down more than what it already is? And there's no way that Russo could put the WWE out of business, just like Russo didn't kill WCW. Some might say he aided in it, but I wouldn't go as far as to say he killed it. Not at all. Subscribe.